Okay guys, I'm here today to show you how to do the SST on the new Draeger Baby Log. Here at French, we keep them set up and ready to go, so my circuit's already on. I have a few things in the bag, like my NeoFit and my suction catheters. And so hopefully we'll make this video quick and easy, and you'll learn something. Okay, so let's zoom in and get you all set up. Okay, first things first, we want to go with our new Neo. So we'll push that. With this vent, you have to push the knob in to get it to accept anything. So we started with new Neo, push the knob accepts, and it deletes all the old data that was on here. You can see up here, it wants me to do this device and breathing circuit check because it just turned it on. It also wants to know if I replaced the flow sensor, so I'll do all of that. But to get rid of it, you hit alarm reset, then you have to push your button and they'll go away. All right, so when the rep came out here to tell us, they gave us a trick and told us to start with the breathing circuit check, even though the device check will tell you to do the breathing circuit check afterwards. The device check will fail if your circuit's not set up right or if it has any leaks. So it's kind of better to do the circuit check first. So over here on the side, you can see that there's a bunch of different options. Oh, I guess I could start back here. So this is our main screen. To do your checks, you'll go to system check up here. And then you have different checks on the side. You got device check, breathing check, and results. And it also tells you on this overview page when the last thing was done. Okay, so we'll go to breathing circuit check first, just to make sure I don't have any leaks in this circuit. Hit start. It tells you here, make sure no patient's connected, and confirm, which is you confirm with your knob. And then it says connect breathing circuit, CO patient connection port, and confirm with OK. So our ports are sealed anyways with the lung. The lung will be fine as long as it doesn't have a hole in it. So I'll push OK, and it starts doing its thing. So you can see these numbers pop up here, and it tells you acceptable is 300, so we want less than that. It looks like it's gonna pass. And like I said, the only reason I do this first is just to make sure that there's no leaks in the system that maybe got overlooked. I don't know if you guys have had that fun yet, but there's so many little ports and connections on these circuits that it could be anywhere, so it's kind of nice to know that your circuit's okay. So now it wants me to open the connection port, so I'll just take the lung off. See, take the lung off, push OK, and it checks the resistance, and now it says check finished. So we passed our breathing circuit check, so I know my circuit is installed correctly. I'll go here to device check. You can see last time it was done, everything passed. That's what all these green dots are. But you want to do this every time you start it with a new patient. So we'll start, and you got to confirm it just like everything else. It'll ask if you hear an alarm, which you can hear, so you hit yes. Breathing circuit connected correctly, yes. Humidifier connected correctly or not in use. So yes, it's connected. Now it says test lung removed and neonatal flow sensor occluded. So this is gonna zero the flow sensor, which I usually just occlude both ends to make sure it zeroes nicely. Okay. Put it back on. Now it says test lung removed and flow sensor correctly installed and not occluded. So I just put the flow sensor back on, Push yes, and it'll start blowing, making all kinds of fun noise. So now it's just measuring the flow sensor. You can see here, flow sensor measurement. You fell. It's dangerous here being on video. All right, next is test on connected and breathing circuit. So we just put the test on back on. Push yes. Do you want to do the internal gas supply? I always do this. It says it can take up to 3 minutes, but it doesn't seem to take that long. All right, so now is kind of the hard part. You have to just sit here and wait for it to go through all of its tests. I can't remember exactly if there's any more that you have to do or if it just runs through all these tests by itself. But we'll see when it goes through. So you'll hear it making noise like that. It's just running all its calibrations, checking its different safety mechanisms and things like that. So you just let it finish its thing. As you can tell, this takes a few minutes, so it's nice to have this done before you need it on a patient. So usually in most hospitals I've worked at, we have this done and set up so that when you need it, you're not trying to run this 5 or 10 minute test to try to get it on a patient while you're bagging or something. So we just wait and wait. While we're waiting, I guess we can talk about these green dots. If any of your tests don't pass, those dots will turn red instead of green. And you can actually, when you run it the second time, it'll just run the tests that didn't pass, which is nice. So if like you forgot to plug it into air and oxygen, it would skip O2 supply and air supply and call them red. So on your next run through, if you plug them in, it'll just go to those two and run those quick tests, so you don't have to run the whole thing. That's kind of a nice thing, especially if you have like a flow sensor that doesn't work, or you know, like anything that fails at this point, I'd be annoyed if I'd have to start over. So gas supply unit, that's our compressor, and it passed. Now it's going to run O2 supply, which is from the wall, and then it'll do air. See, so it just moves from test to test at this point. Makes it kind of nice. You can walk away for a minute or two once you get it going. As you guys saw in the beginning, we have two, so usually I'll start one, and then once it gets going, I'll start the next one, and then I can bounce back and forth between the two. So we're almost done. It's now calibrating the O2 sensor. It'll do a nebulizer check, which I don't know if we have one. I've never used a nebulizer on this vent, so usually with babies, we don't have to nebulize a lot. Not like adults where they have lung disease also. Babies are usually ventilated for other reasons. I'm sure there are places out there in the world that see more of that, but in most of the places I've worked, we are lower level NICUs or nurseries that don't have these like strange neonatal problems. So we're just about done. It's checking the nebulizer now. And you'll see here it says device check finished. To proceed to breathing circuit check, touch yes. So you could touch yes, but we already did that, so we know we passed. And we'll call that good. I'll make another video of a little bit of how to use this one. So yeah, see you in the next one.